Why, hello! I'm sure the question on all of your minds is, who the hell are you? Well, my name is Lillian Van Lux, you can call me Lily, and I am your new Hot Piece of Vase Tuesday team member. Unfortunately, you will notice I am on my webcam. I had a camera battery problem, but it is my first video and the show must go on, so we'll try to speak clearly and hope for the best. My hair is crap right now. I'm glad you're not looking at it in detail, actually. If you are on Avon, you may know me as Fresh de Verlaine. If you know the sort of circle of asexuals on Tumblr, you may have seen me as Ridiculiculicious. Actually, that's not true. I'm not nearly as involved in asexuality on Tumblr as I could be. I basically just talk about 80s music a lot, and every once in a while I'm like, oh yeah, and also I'm asexual. But enough about that. Look at this quote that Mark Wallman said about cream eggs. I don't think I actually posted the thing Mark Wallman said about cream eggs, so I may go do that just so I will have been telling the truth in this video. I thought what I would do is just sort of give an overview of my experience with asexuality and my self-discovery as an asexual, since I guess that's what most of the team members have done already. They've just had a lot more time to do it. I think I first started realizing it when I was about 13, when I was about the requisite age. I became interested in relationships, except when I imagined ideal relationships, I imagined things like the adventures we would go on and the inside jokes we would have, and basically being awesome and finding someone awesome and how awesome our combined awesomeness would be. That was also the requisite age that a lot of other people started thinking about relationships, and I realized that my idea of that and their idea of that was a bit different, and started to think, I might be missing something here. I remember one specific instance when I was talking to a couple of friends online, and I mentioned very nonchalantly the fact that I wasn't interested in kissing anyone. Oh my god, they freaked out. It was like I had two heads or something. They started like questioning me, how is this possible? What are you talking about? And one of the girls asked me, okay, so I just need to ask you a question. When you look at a cute guy, what do you want to do to him? And I said, keep looking at him. I think I found out what asexuality was shortly after that, about 13 or 14, just from seeing someone else mention it, and I read Avon and stuff, and I remember I thought it was a possibility, but I didn't want to identify as asexual for a reason that a lot of people on Avon constantly tell newcomers not to worry about, because I figured I was too young to identify as asexual. I was just too young to know that I could be. I had several, I guess I considered them crushes that were sort of along the same lines as the thing I described earlier, the kind of relationships I wanted earlier, but I thought if I ever met someone and got into a relationship with them, then it would sort of awaken some kind of instinct and blossom into the kind of relationships that sexual people also have. So that didn't really clue anything off for a while. And I also had some celebrity and musician crushes and stuff. Like, I experience aesthetic attraction, and I can appreciate sexiness, like, especially in a performance context, especially in a musical context. That's like one of my favorite subjects ever, honestly. I really want to make a video about that sometime. I thought Chris Corner was just about the hottest person possible ever. And with the magic of film, I will make a picture of him appear right here. And so it was sort of easy to think I was heterosexual, pretend I was heterosexual, saying things like, hell yeah, I'd do him. I'd do him into next week, on top of the washer and dryer while they're vibrating sexily. That's how you say things like that, right? Fast forward a bit more, and toward the end of high school, I was like 18, and I was going to go to college soon, and it was going to be like a really fresh start. Like, I was moving out of a really small town and moving out of state to go to college. I live in Texas, by the way. I live in Central Texas, like close to Austin, where I go to college. So I was thinking about how I'd get this fresh start and I would have a bunch of new friends, maybe even have a boyfriend and lots of, oh, about that. So I got on Wikipedia, got on Avon, and had a think about what sexual attraction was and what my plans were for relationships and what kind of relationships I would like to have, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm kind of asexual, aren't I? So I went to college, and like on my first day there, I met this guy who was like funny and likable at first. So we became friends and like became attached to each other really quickly. He was like romantically interested in me, so I thought, okay, this could work out because I wasn't really sure like what way I liked him, but I thought I would give it a try. So like not very long after that, we were sort of like in a relationship, and it kind of went all downhill from there because he wanted to treat me like his girlfriend, and I wanted to treat him as my like glorified best friend with a title who I could also cuddle with, and it didn't work very well, so that didn't last very long. And shortly after that, I tried to tell my mom I was asexual and received pretty much like every anti-asexuality excuse in the book in one conversation. At the time when I tried to tell her, I was kind of freaked out. I was like, oh crap, I'm asexual and it just screwed up this relationship. This isn't cool. There's several more months and that guy was like completely out of the picture. I wasn't talking to him anymore. I started wondering, I wonder if I should be open to finding someone else for the possibility of a relationship, and then I realized I didn't really want to try that again with anybody else. So I started thinking about what I did want, and I went back to thinking about the various supposed crushes I'd had before and what I had wanted with them. And I realized I hadn't ever really wanted relationships. Now that I found out what they were, they just weren't what I wanted. So that was how I realized that I was also aromantic. I went home that following summer after that, and I was like, okay, Mom, I have this really exciting news. I've figured out that I'm also aromantic, and I've had time to think about it, and it was intimidating at first. It was kind of discouraging at first, but then I realized that I don't have to think about relationships and I can focus on making friends and myself, and I have this really nice positive outlook now, and I'm a lot more optimistic than I have ever been. So I'm an asexual aromantic, and I think it's pretty great. Aromantic asexual. God, I cannot talk. My mom learned more about asexuality, and as far as I know, she's completely fine with the fact that I'm asexual and aromantic now. I think a very important lesson to be learned from that was that if you are happy with the way you identify, if the more positive your outlook on it is, the more likely your loved ones are to be supportive and be optimistic about the way you identify. So it's been about a year since all of the last of those events I have described, and nothing has really changed about the way I identify since then. It's still, things are going well. There's a great LGBTQ organization at my university who are very inclusive of me being asexual, and I've given presentations and managed to teach other people about asexuality as well. So things are going well. So that is my story of asexuality and how it relates to me. I can't wait to get topics and start participating in the talking about specific topics. Thanks for watching, and I'm sorry about the webcam. I will make sure my proper camera is working next week.